Since the reintroduction of the Water Resources Bill, there has been criticism from different quarters, with many accusing the federal government of trying to seize absolute control of water resources in the country.
There are also fears that the bill is capable of inciting water wars and depriving citizens access to potable water. The federal government has again appealed to Nigerians that the National Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. But the Ministers of Information and Water Resources say the suspicions are baseless, as the Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. Correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
The contentious National Water Resource Bill is again before the National Assembly, barely 15 months after it was stepped down by the 8th Senate. But this time it has started an even bigger controversy, with some Nigerians questioning the actual motive behind the bill and if indeed it is in the best interest of the country. Critics of the bill allege that if passed into law, it could deprive Nigerians access to potable water, empower the federal government to deploy water resources however it pleases, and in the worst-case scenario, even incite water wars.
The bill contains provisions that will ensure that internal conflicts on water is averted. A possible source of internal conflict on water is if an upstream state decides to dam an interstate water, thereby preventing it from following its natural course, thus affecting downstream users. So on the contrary, the bill is the only panacea to internal conflict on water.
At this press conference, the Minister of Information and the Minister of Water Resources attempts to disabuse the minds of those gathered about what the bill seeks to achieve.
And so the government should rather focus on putting so much effort in closing the fault lines. That is where this problem is. Any law you bring, whether it is good or bad, people are going to oppose it.
It is not an easy task. According to them, the bill will ensure that the nation's water resources are protected, used, developed, and controlled in a suitable manner for the benefit of all persons. They say the bill also creates the opportunity for public-private partnerships.
Nobody says you cannot drill a borehole in your house. Nobody says that. But you cannot be taking water for commercial use at the expense of the people. So this bill is actually protecting the rights of the people to use it, the ordinary person that is building the borehole in his house.
They argue that licensing as contained in the bill only applies to those who intend to divert the country's water resources for commercial purposes and exempts domestic users.
As a Water Resources Ministry, through the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, we have a responsibility to monitor the groundwater resources, to know whether it is polluted or whether it is clean, whether we are depleting too much or not. This is pure common sense.
The federal government urges citizens to avail themselves of the provisions of the bill to avoid being misled by those who have chosen to politicize it.
The federal government believes that when the National Water Resources Bill is passed into law, it will serve all Nigerians and provide opportunity for the enhancement of Nigeria's water sector in line with global best practices. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.